Welcome to pre-staking day 2. It's gonna get hot, very hot. Got my drivers fixed, brought my other 2 just in case. But wow, it's supposed to get to 82 degrees today. Man, if we didn't have a house right up the hill here by those trees, perfect 220 location. But it is what it is. Get dog proof right there. Follow this trail, beat down trail, all the way to the top. I love it. Whew. Tell you what, some guys have all the luck. So this is what I talk about a lot. Find your drive. I'm already sucking wind hard. We got this trail coming up. Goes right through that hole there. When I scouted this out, that's what I saw. Are right on the road limitations as far as I can go. So there's only really room for one. But what I didn't see is this tunnel through here. Most people be like, yeah, one's good. No, I'm gonna huff back up there, grab another DP, come down here and throw it in this side too. So this is gonna go from 1 to 2 traps at this location. Find your drive, guys. Going right to that hole in the trees. I've shown you that before. This trail's really popped. Under 2 weeks, baby. This is another trail that's coming really nicely. It's hard to tell right through here, but start getting up in here. You can see the hole where it just keeps going through all the way up to corn, standing corn even. I'm getting a little nervous. I just looked at the weather and they updated it pretty drastically. Starting in 2 days, it seems like there's rain almost every day until season gets here in 12 days. Makes me a little nervous because normally you get a little bit of water in culvert situations like this. Typically, you know, this low spot, there'd be just 3-4 inches of water. It's dry, so I want to put dog proof right there. I'm kind of nervous, you know, like I said, I don't want to start filling up the entries to these tubes that normally are underwater, and then we get a good rain, and next thing you know, I've got a foot of water under all my traps on opening day. So we're going to be kind of strategic. Definitely going to watch the weather really hard these next few days, but I'm going to probably try to start backing some of these off of the tube, or at least getting them up on the sides, still on the trail, but as high as I can, just in case we do get that rain. They're still going to come down through here. I'm not worried about the coon movement, but dog proof that's under a foot of water is going to do you no good. And then on opening day, I'm coming through and I'm pulling traps and moving them. It'd just be a disastrous day. So you got to be pretty strategic on this, on what we do. Nothing like a little pre-staking to get you in shape. Holy cow. Got all kinds of fuzzies floating around. Wow. Let me just look at that. And we got the high side. Yeah, I think we got some coon floating around. What would you guys think? It's actually muddy down here. There normally is water here, so that kind of concerns me a bit. You know, with that rain that sounds like it's coming, we're gonna have to get these things as high as we can. Probably set one here, coming off that trail, and I'll try to get one up here on that little grass clump. Yeah, don't get much better than that, guys. While we're done here, I want to talk about something else too. I used to lay these dog proofs flat when I pre-staked them, even bury them in some leaves, or normally leaves buried them regardless. But I leave them straight up, almost like they're set. The reason being, they're brown, so they blend in pretty well. But believe it or not, just the circle, the black hole on top, is my eye appeal. It sticks out to me to find these traps. It sticks out. I mean, especially if you're in, you know, if this was in some browner grass, say down in here, you know, it just sticks out to me. Maybe it doesn't show up in the camera, I don't know, but anywhere I look, I mean, my other one up there, I can just see that hole, and that's how I find my traps, especially in the timbered areas where you get leaves and stuff. This whole thing might be covered up with leaves, but you actually see a little bump where your trap is. So just something I kind of do. You know, everyone's got their own opinions on it, but we gotta get rolling. How nobody hits these things, I never hear of it in Iowa, although I think I should, that the combines, I've never heard of them hitting somebody, but like they crest these hills and such. I don't know how they don't. I really don't know how they don't. That thing was as wide as the whole road is, and yeah, I figured he'd wrong person, the wrong time, he's gonna get hit. This is a spot that I just started trapping this year too. There's a little low spot on the other side of this hill, one up here on the other side of this house too. I don't have to detour very far. I guess I better grab my driver. To get to these three spots, basically I turned left instead of going straight. There's three pretty good locations. It takes about a half mile, maybe. We're gonna set them probably just a few days and then get out of here. So a pretty decent trail coming down through. You can see it down here. But I think the better one is hidden over here, going into that tube. You can kind of see it coming out through there. We're gonna put one on each. Put one right down in here and one up here close to the lip of that. And like I said, we'll check these three locations probably 3 days, 4 days, and then when they start to die out, we'll pull them, because I'm not gonna drive that extra, you know, mile round trip for nothing. So 3 locations. If we can pick up, you know, I think all 3 of them, we got 2 traps, we can pick up 10 coon off it, 8 coon, whatever it may be. That's enough, you know, and it all adds up in the big picture. Now, if these locations were 2 miles away, I would not be doing it. It's just too far for me to justify it as far as wasting time. But half mile, yeah, it's worth it. Here's the final stop of that kind of dead end turnaround spot that I was telling you about. We got a house right here to my right on the other side of that shed, and that's too bad because right here is a perfect 220 trail. I hope you guys can see that. Just perfect. We got a minor one coming the other way, but we're definitely gonna set both of them up on this side. Definitely the key spot. I was just down here looking for the tube. I thought something smelled fishy. Yep, sure did. Looks like little bass. Well, anyway, this spot really didn't look that appealing now. I thought it'd come in a little bit better, but even with those fish there, there's just nothing here. You know, I thought this trail going up through would kind of develop, but it's actually kind of gone the other way. The tunnel is actually not really there anymore. You can see what is a little bit of a trail coming up and through. Actually be a good little coyote spot if I knew if this grass was better, but just not enough for me. So we're gonna take our GPS, delete it off there, delete it off the book as well, and move on. This here used to be a really good spot. We just had a little low spot here with timber behind it, and this all used to be beans or corn. This would have been the corn year, but it looks like they put all in some kind of CRP or government program. Pretty much killed this whole road. I've stopped just to see if anything came in, because I didn't have it marked, but I just wanted to double check if, you know, maybe some trails would pop since I was down here mapping, but no, pretty dead. We do have a fence line up here, as you can see. We're gonna follow that to the road. I do think I have that marked up there, so we'll get up there and check that out, but all these little high and low spots kind of died once they lost our crops. You can kind of see how this road just waves, and these low spots are awesome. But here's that fence line I was just mentioning that runs perpendicular to the road, and right here, right off this fence line post underneath this cedar tree, we do still have a pretty good coon trail. Definitely worth a pair. Be a great 220 spot, except we're about 100 yards from a driveway. So gonna throw a couple dog proofs in here, but you know, just because of the low spots or the high spots where the culverts didn't produce, those coon, they're running those fence lines too. So just because one type of location doesn't produce, if there's no crops there, those fence lines are probably more dominant in my opinion. I would have better success catching raccoons on those perpendicular fence lines than those low spots, especially with no crops. But even if there's no crops, these fence lines are still gonna travel some animals. Here's that perfect scenario for me. We've got a fence line here, it goes down, or a tree line I should say, not even sure it's a fence, but we got corn on the other side of the road, and we've got a dynamite trail running right up through it, going right through the fence there. Once again, we're close to house, so we can't do anything with body grips, but you can just see the indentation right here in the grass, winding right up and through, headed to corn. So great spot, just dog proof on each side is what we're going to do on here. Well, I just found one more. I have never seen this. We're just right here on that fence line. Yeah, that's pretty rocking. I don't know how I've never seen that before. That's pretty phenomenal. Going right up here to well, on the other side of the road, we've got an actual driveway, an old farmstead up here. But anyway, it's definitely worth setting on. I'm not sure if I was careless coming through here or stuff just started coming in. And we're crossing another farm entrance again. And wow, we gotta throw one in that. Might even throw two in that. That is phenomenal. I'm really not sure how I missed that. I don't know, but it's here now. We're here now. Hello 61B. You always got to be observant. I've trapped this road for many years. I have never seen this trail here. I have never seen that. And considering it goes underneath this tree and wraps around and goes up underneath cedars, yeah, we're adding this. I don't know how I've missed it, but what a trail. We certainly aren't setting these yet. You can see the coon trail down here wrapping around. They're definitely traveling it, but it's going to change a lot with that rain. Little pool down here yet, but hard to believe I was drowning beaver in this. You want to talk about a location. Wow. We're going to have that 220 blocking that off right here. That's coming a lot more than it ever has. I normally always pick up a couple coon here, but this year I got a lot higher hopes for it. You can even just kind of take a look at all the little impressions in the gravel on the side. I mean, all the way up into here. Once you get past that, you know, you don't have a whole lot up in here, but everything's running down through here, crossing. There's actually kind of a second and third dairy trail here too, but threw a dog proof in on this side, 220 on the other. We're gonna get some coon here. crazy, isn't it? I was drowning beaver here. I mean, you definitely have a nice little packed coon trail along the edges, but that's just crazy. Whew. Shadows are getting long. I know I hear that you hear this all the time from me, but I love this location. We got one of those fence lines again, like we talked about. We got corn up above it. We got a pole. We got another fence line right there. We actually, coming off that little tree right there, had a couple really good dog proof locations. But this is a 220 location. Just perfect. You can kind of see it coming up through there as well. We're gonna get two of them in here. Put one right here on the lip of the canopy, then I'm gonna walk around to the outside and set one on the other side. So great spot. Normally pick up a lot of coon, a lot of skunks here too.